There are 6 very specific rules that you must follow when using credit cards if you eventually want to get a mortgage, maybe get a loan for a car, or even get an apartment lease. Credit cards are presented in such a way where everyone believes they're harmful, and I want to tell you that that's not necessarily true. I want to assure you that credit cards are excellent financial tools to keep in your arsenal if used responsibly. There's tons of credit cards out there that all want your business. This is not a straightforward game. Let me clarify some things. What are the types of cards? How does interest work? And what are all these fees? Well, let's dive a little bit deeper to figure this out. Rule number 1, spend within your means. Credit cards are great, but might not be for everyone. If you don't have the self-control to spend within your means and pay off your credit card in full every month, then it might not be a good idea to get a credit card. Otherwise, guys, you can effectively earn free money and benefits if you spend within your means. Recognize that cash back and benefits encourage you to spend more, so don't buy anything outside of your regular spending. Treat your credit card like it is directly connected to your bank account, like cash or a debit card. You can get bonuses from credit cards, but the second you go outside of your regular spending to do so, you're wasting time and money. I know spending feels really good, but it's tough. You gotta stay within your means, and you're just gonna be promoting consumerism if you don't. Rule number 2, pay off your credit card in full on time every month. Paying off your credit card is essential. There are high interest fees that'll add up the second you don't pay your credit card off and the statement is due. What is a statement balance? Well, guys, it's the amount you owe for that specific time period. Think of it as the amount of money you spent within that time period. You must pay off this entire amount to avoid any interest fees. Interest fees are one of the ways credit card companies make a lot of money off of you. They can be as high as 26% or even higher. It is never worth paying interest fees. You're not going to help anyone out, and you do not need to prove to the creditors that maybe you're more worthy if you carry a balance to pay interest. Rule number 3, know how to build your credit score. Your credit score is the lifeblood of your credit portfolio. You're going to use this to apply for credit cards, home loans, car loans, and any other loans where they need to pull your credit. Even if you're not buying anything, landlords pull your credit to see if you're worthy of renting. So if you're going to be buying or renting, it's still important to have a good credit score. You can track your credit score for free using one of the credit card apps that comes with the credit card, or Experian, Chase, Discover. They all have built-in features to do this. It's very simple. You can raise your credit score for free by just using the credit card for an extended period of time, paying it off, and following the rest of the rules in this video. Okay, I get it. There's a lot of complex ways that the credit scores are generated and how it's all measured. Your credit score is based on 5 weighted factors. Amounts owed. How much of your credit limit do you utilize? Payment history. Have you paid your bills on time each month? If you have, do you miss, and how often do you miss? Hopefully you don't ever do that. Credit history. How long have you had the credit account for? New credit. How many times have you requested to have your credit pulled? This can be for apartments, loans, new credit cards. The lower you request your credit to be pulled, the better your score will be. And types of credit. Do you have loans, credit cards? Variety in your credit portfolio is good. I know this might look like a lot, but if you keep your balance low, pay your credit card off each month, you're gonna raise your credit score for free. Notice how I said maintain a low balance? Well, I'll tell you in better detail because this is really important. Rule number 4, don't get too close to your credit limit. It's simple, the more credit you use, the more your score will go down. Don't max out your credit card. Let's say you have a $1,000 credit limit. If you go and spend $1,000, that's 100% of your credit utilization completely taken up. That's bad. The amount of credit you use, aka revolving utilization, makes up for 30% of your credit score calculation. This calculation is based on how much you spend for that statement period divided by your total credit limit. You want to maintain a revolving utilization as low as possible. 30% is good, but the lower the better. Ideally, you want to be as close to 0 as possible. If you can't get that revolving utilization down, maybe you need to spend more than $300 on that $1,000 credit limit card, then you need to go ahead and apply for another credit card or ask them to increase your limit. It can be actually simpler than you think. So the Apple Card, all you have to do is go to iMessage and text them and they'll increase it for you, but some other cards you might have to call. Just note, you may get a hard inquiry if you do this, so think twice before you do it. If you apply for a new card, maybe another $1,000 credit limit card, that's $2,000 of total credit, and now you have a 15% credit utilization. That's great. You can get this low by paying your credit cards off frequently. It actually doesn't matter how many times a month you pay your credit card off. As long as you keep that utilization low, it can help you out. Eventually, just know you're gonna build your credit this way, and then you can go ahead and apply for another credit card. That way, you'll get a higher total credit limit. It'll help you out. All right, rule number 5. Understanding points versus miles versus cash back. Credit cards are gonna produce some currency, whether it be cash back, points, or miles. Depending on your needs, it can be really nice to gain miles so you can travel and even get better redemptions if you transfer those miles to other transfer partners. This can add a lot of complexity, and most people don't do this. If you're fine with just cash back, that's totally acceptable, and let me tell you, it's pretty easy to get that. Something like Chase Freedom Unlimited generates 1.5% cash back on all your purchases. This card would generate Chase Ultimate Rewards points, but these are easily converted into cash back or other sorts of travel rewards. It can get even easier. Something like the Apple Card gives you instant daily cash back directly into your Apple Wallet. So right when you pay, you get that money right away. If you really want to get complicated, you could take points, miles, transfer them to partners. I have a whole bunch of videos that are talking about this, and you can get some really cool travel rewards for doing so. Just know the added complexity isn't necessary to gain adequate rewards from cashback, as most people are totally fine with just doing cashback. Rule number 6, understand some of the basic fees. While you may be earning some cashback, miles, or points, it's not gonna come for free, and if you don't pay attention, you might be paying some extra fees. Fees are annoying. They can tack on hidden charges that you'd never even see in that fine print when you signed up for the credit card. Most cards have been tacking on lots of hidden fees for as long as time, but let me tell you, there's a card that has completely changed the game, and this is not a review, but the Apple Card has no hidden fees. Excellent. Although they do have interest fee, which is the whole point. I mean, that's how credit card companies make money, when you don't pay your credit card off. Interest. But since you're always going to pay your credit card off if you follow all these rules, you're not going to have any fees with a card like this. Now, I don't want to make this a full Apple Card review, but credit card companies know that there's lots of fees, and you're going to end up paying them if you don't pay attention. Apple has removed all of these. Some of the fees include annual fees, foreign transaction fees, over limit fees. There's just so many fees that it can be a lot and overwhelming. Foreign transaction fees are usually issued when you charge the card in a different country, usually up to 3% of that transaction. Late fees are issued when you pay the credit card late. Card replacement fees are issued when you need a replacement card if you lose it or it's stolen, but these are usually free. Balance transfer fees are a little more complicated. It's when you have a credit card that you can't pay off and has a ton of interest on it that you want to transfer to another credit card, maybe with a 0% APR sign-up bonus. That way you can pay it off without paying interest for that intro period. Most cards charge a certain percent to transfer that over. Some cards don't allow it at all. The 0% intro bonuses are usually in hopes that you'll spend more money. Return payment fees are issued when the payment from your checking account to pay at the end of the statement period is bounced back. Maybe you don't have enough money in your checking account and they'll issue you a fee for that. Sometimes the account number can be wrong, maybe a typo, but just make sure you get it right on the first try so that doesn't happen. Okay, so fees are gonna exist, guys, I understand, but if you try to follow the rest of the rules in this video, you're gonna be okay, and these fees won't be too bad, if at all. Also, keep in mind, annual fees are good, as you'll be able to cover that annual fee with the benefits earned back from the card, and more. That's why people pay annual fees. I hope you guys learned something new. It can be so confusing to know exactly what to do with credit cards, and it can be challenging to get started. This can all seem so complex, but let me tell you, with experience, it gets easier and it'll just become second nature. I hope you guys all have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.